About the social media discussion we're just having, blah
Yeah.
blah just said pride cometh before the MySpace-esque fall. that is so true. It's like just at the moment that they think, at the precise moment they think that they have market saturation, they think that they have maximum control, they can lose the entire user base in minutes. And I can actually see that happening right now for Facebook, which most people would think is, you know, for years people have been saying we shouldn't be on Facebook, don't use Facebook, Facebook's terrible, it's the Fed book, it's the CIA book, and it seemed like no one was listening. But I think this advent of blockchain, cryptocurrency, and social media, the second that people realize, hey, if I'm going to give these people my freaking data, I can actually get paid for it, rather than the people I'm giving my data to just getting paid for it. I truly think that's the end of Facebook. And I think what will be the most interesting thing for me about Steemit is seeing whether, as the Steemit community grows bigger and bigger and the user base grows bigger and bigger, whether Steemit start to cut down on the payouts and skimp people in this way, that way, and the other way, and increase their profits, or sell themselves to Saudi Arabia, like, or, you know, it'll be interesting to see the behavior of the company as the user base grows.
Absolutely.
But I'm all for migration in the meantime to as many platforms as possible.
Well, and one thing about Facebook too in the news recently was that that really galled me as well, you know, is that Zuckerberg has said openly that he's going to de-emphasize news posts because he wants us to be more connected to our close family, friends, and relatives. And
yeah, that's when it's time to de-emphasize Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you know, the only thing I use Facebook for is to share disobedient media articles. And it's actually, actually, that really made me angry. No, I'm serious, because that's one of the only places that we aren't like universally shadow banned. I mean, Reddit has really, really clinched down on, like, we used to get hundreds and hundreds of views for every article from Reddit. Yeah. And it's like, you know, that has gone through the floor. And, but with Facebook, it hasn't been quite so bad. And I think the problem with Facebook, the reason they're just de-emphasizing across the board, is because they know there's too many independent individuals posting from different sites, not just disobedient media. I mean, like, you know, all of these varieties, and they don't want to have to go and spot, like, put them out like spot fires. They just want to across the board censor. So anyway, sorry, off topic.
But for sure. But disobedient media has a really sizable following though as well. And
when it
has the bigger following, it's much more difficult for them to suppress the work.
True. Yeah.
I mean, like, literally, there's no mainstream media at all, you know, republishing my work or anything, and I can get 30,000 views as an independent journalist just purely from word of mouth. Literally from word of mouth, like zero budgeting, you know, $0 budget, zero marketing,
no promotion, no promoted tweets that you're paying for. Yeah, no, I understand.
Exactly. That is difficult for them. They can never really suppress the word of mouth. They can suppress the search engine results. They can stop people from accidentally happening across their stuff. But if people are going out of their way to actually pass a link from person to person to person to person, it's very, very difficult for them to do anything about that.
And that's why our wonderful group that are in chat right now are so amazing. And that's why when Kathy asked us how can she help, one of the most valuable things anyone that's watching can do is to share our work around, share these streams, share the clips that Fly makes of the streams. That is hugely helpful. Like, I can't state that enough, how helpful that is. I mean,
that's what's built this community, because yet again, I'm not aware of any journalist, any media organization in the entire world that has acknowledged, other than Disobedient Media, you know, Elizabeth's publication, that has even simply acknowledged these streams, let alone what we found in the streams, let alone any of the revelations. So, but our research, and again, we have no budget, no marketing, we don't have Russian bots circulating our work, we don't have anything. Like, we've started from like
green screens, you know,
yeah, exactly. We have none of the bells and whistles whatsoever. But our community is still growing. Every stream, we have more people watching at the same time.
It's such an honor when we do,
yeah, it's amazing. And that just goes to show, like, you guys can beat the censorship just simply by making the effort, taking the 5 minutes and saying to 5 friends, hey, did you know about this? Have you seen this? Do you know these guys are studying Snowden documents? Have you seen what they found in there?
Yeah, well,
That beats
yeah,
the system.
exactly. I agree. So without further ado, I would love to get into some documents. I've had a great time, like, kind of having a couple side note discussions though, so I think it's always fun when we have a few really great topics to talk about. Just looking at chat really fast. Yeah, so, and I guess that's the thing.
That's so true. That is so true. And this is the same thing I saw in my activism in New Zealand, is that I could achieve just by creating a hashtag and spamming the hell out of that hashtag 24/7 until people were forced to listen and pay attention to what I was circulating. That beat time and time again, that outperformed massive marketing companies. And in New Zealand, we had the social media awards, which are corporate sponsored awards that are specifically to give awards to corporate marketing companies for running social media campaigns. And we would mock them because they would stand up and give each other awards for campaigns that had like 5,000, 10,000 tweets of New Zealanders on whatever corporate hashtag, whereas our hashtags were hitting 50,000, 100,000 tweets on #CSB, on #TPPA, no way, with no money, no resources, no staff, no structured, completely unstructured organizations of just loose-knit activists getting together and pushing issues into the mainstream. And we would be 10 times more effective than these companies that are getting millions of dollars to push these corporate hashtags. So people have the power. The people have when we decide that we really want to make a change, we really want to raise awareness about something, nothing can stop us. Nothing. No censorship, no Google algorithms, no lack of financial resources, nothing. And if anything, that is what scares the shit out of the deep state. They know we can. They know we stopped the TPPA being signed. It might have taken us 6 years, might have taken us thousands of marches around the world, but we stopped the TPPA being signed. And we can do stuff like that when we want to, when we actually put, our nose to the grindstone, when we give of ourselves, not because we're being paid, not because we're being taught, or not because there's something directly in it for us, other than the betterment of our society. There's absolutely nothing that can stop people power.
Absolutely.
Same thing with this Release the Memo, actually. If enough people go nuts about Release the Memo, and if there's sustained pressure every single day where you're not responding to what the news cycle sets as the agenda, but you're forcing Release the Memo, I'm just giving an example here. I'm not even saying do it. I'm just saying, if people put up a sustained outcry for long enough, they'll probably be forced to release the memo, or they'll be forced to make some kind of change anyway to appease people. The state does concede power occasionally, but only where the outcry is loud enough and sustained enough.
Absolutely. Completely agree. And so
this is much larger than any of us. This is about all of us. That is like, good on you. And
I think when people when people feel powerless, this is, or if they don't feel like just sharing this by word of mouth is really doing something to help, they need to understand this, that really truly does make a difference. Like, you're empowering yourself and empowering independent media and all this stuff in a major way. It's the difference between going this type of effort going somewhere and going absolutely nowhere, is just people sharing. So anyway,
Kaio says most of these billionaire campaigns use bots. It's not like these grassroots internet movements are some crazies on the internet. We are real people. I'm quoting Kaio from chat. They use bots and game the system. We convince through truth and information, not BS. That is spot on. Spot on. I was watching, I think it was like Alyssa Milano was like, look at all the Russian bots tweeting and release the memo. And I'm saying, this is Trump's bot army or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a second, Clinton's bot army was from Bangladesh. She literally hired Bangladeshi internet companies to pay thousands of little Bangladeshi people to sit there and click like on all of her shit.
It's sad. It's really pathetic.
And is that Bangladesh interfering in the US election? You know, is that them subverting the electoral process? Or why is it okay?
Yeah, that was definitely
Okay for Clinton to have a Bangladeshi social media army?
Yeah, I mean, we know about like not control, correct the record, and the fact, they had millions of dollars
Shared
they were spending.
Blue and all of
Yeah,
that
no,
stuff.
David batshit crazy Brock.
Yeah,
But I mean,
pretty
that's a
nasty.
little bit more than Russian Facebook puppy ads that were worth about $40,000, but whatever.